The following is shared with permission from the original broadcaster. And we are back, and I am joined by a very special guest right now from PetPace. This is Dr. Dagan. He is going to talk to us about a really, really cool piece of tech, something that is an amazing idea, and it is a perfect solution for anyone who has a pet or knows maybe someone who does have a pet. So whether you're a pet owner yourself, or maybe your best friend, your parents, your siblings, someone else who has a pet, he's going to talk to us about PetPace. It is a amazing product, like I said, and it's going to change the way you see the pet technology space. Dr. Dagan, welcome. You're joining us all the way from Israel, so thank you for taking the time.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So why don't we start right off the beginning and talk a little bit about what PetPace is, and then we'll talk a little bit about why you decided to develop it.
Sure. So PetPace is a smart collar for pets and very soon for cats as well.
Oh, wow.
It is a regular collar. You put it on the dog's neck like you would your regular collar. You don't need any special preparations. But it is very special because it has sensors, many sensors on the inside part of it that continuously collect a range of physiological and behavioral biometrics, which we then use to assess your pet's condition and predict if they become sick at one point.
Oh, wow. So it is sort of a preventative choice that owners of pets can get that will allow them to see if there's any change in their pet's health over time.
Absolutely. And at the same time, once they already become sick or if there's already a known condition, this data can help you and your veterinarian together manage the condition better because we see real data, we see how treatment affect what's going on, and we can, provide much better care for your pet.
Right. Because, pets can't talk, unfortunately, and they can't tell you when they're not feeling well and they're under the weather. So this is sort of a hack to get data into how your pet is doing, right?
Exactly. You hit it right on the nail. Not only they cannot talk, actually their instinct is not to talk, so hide their symptoms.
Oh,
In nature, if you show any weakness or vulnerability, you don't survive. So pets, even though they share their lives with us, they still maintain that natural instinct. So by the time we, as pet owners, notice that something is not right, it's already too far advanced. So the idea is to catch
oh,
it
wow.
early.
And so, well, first of all, let's talk a little bit about your background. Tell me a little bit about yourself and then tell us how you came up with this idea.
So I studied veterinary medicine at Tufts University in Boston. I did a specialty in canine and feline medicine. I worked for many years in hospitals, both in the US and Israel when I eventually returned to my homeland.
Hmm.
And the idea came about when it was just dawned on me that it is so frustrating that we have to tell bad news to pet parents about, some devastating disease being very far advanced, and they swear to you that they never noticed something is not right. It really comes as a surprise to them, and not because they're not dedicated pet owners, it's because they just didn't see the signs. And when we measure them at the hospital at that time, when we take all these different measurements, we see that it's off the charts because the pet is sick.
Mm.
So the idea is that if we can measure the same things that we measure at the hospital, if we can measure them at the pet's home throughout its life, we will identify the very early changes, the earliest signs that something is not so right, something is changing, and we can that's going to make the whole difference in the world because we're not only going to prevent pain and suffering from the pet, we can have much more options to intervene and change the course of the condition.
And so, what kind of things are you guys tracking or looking at when it comes to the pet's health?
So we monitor vital signs. We are the only smart collar out there that can measure temperature and pulse and respiration, HRV, heart rate variability, which is a measurement of pain and stress, activity, body posture. This is interesting because
Mm.
for example, there's pain on the dog's right side, it won't be lying on that side. So by tracking posture habits, we can pick that up as well. And also location data. So if your pet happens to get lost, we will help you find it. So we measure all these things in a very, very high frequency. We actually collect thousands of data points every minute. Huge amount of data. It's uncomparable. Never in the history of veterinary medicine could we collect such amount of information on pets. And then we have, on top of that, we have a layer of analytics. It's the AI that helps us take all this huge amount of information and turn it into actionable insights and information that we can really use to make their lives better.
Oh, wow. Now, if I was a pet owner, what would be the steps I would take? It would be so I go ahead, I purchase the collar. Do I then download the app or something like that, or what's the steps I would take?
Yeah, so you go either to Amazon or to our website at petpace.com. There's an online store, and there's a free app that comes with it. And the installation is pretty simple and straightforward. You just plug it in and follow the app's on-screen instructions, and you just put it on your dog, and the battery lasts for several weeks at a time between charging. So we hope it's pretty simple and self-explanatory.
And when it's time to recharge it, you take the collar off, and is it just a USB?
Yeah, so for a couple of hours, you put it comes with a proprietary charger that comes with the box, with the kit. So you put
Got
it
it.
on for a couple of hours and you're good to go.
All right. And then with regards to the collar itself, is it something the dog can get wet with? Can it, if you're caught in the rain, can it go swimming with it? Like, what's the limitations on that?
The limitation is you cannot go scuba diving with it. But you can go swimming, you can go in the rain, it's ruggedized, you can go to the dog park, it's not going to get destroyed that easily. So it's
So for
pretty
that
tough.
pet parent who takes their dog everywhere, including on a rugged hike, they can literally take it anywhere they want to go.
We actually recommend that you do. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. And with regards to the app, are you, as the pet owner, required or needed to tell some details about your dog? Like, is it a active dog? Is it a senior dog? Like, what kind of details would you like the user to provide you?
There's a simple questionnaire when you sign up, where it's a female or a male, what breed it is, these types of things. It's not very long. It helps us, it helps our models to predict better, the meaning of the data. And there's also a learning period. So the collar starts to work from the first moment and starts collecting data. But there are some AI features that become activated after a few weeks of using it. The reason is that AI models require a lot of data
Mm,
to be accurate and reliable. So we call it the journey. Over a course of several weeks, you have every couple of weeks you have more and more features open up for you. So by the end of the journey, everything is working, everything is running. Even the most sophisticated AI algorithms like the pain detection, for example.
right.
That's one of the things we're most proud of, and it's really revolutionary. We can detect pain in your dog remotely without going to the vet, without doing all kind of special tests. This is
Amazing.
a game changer.
Amazing. It sounds like, having like almost like a smart watch or a smart ring for your dog that will allow it to track all those vital information and get you enough data analytics so that you can then be able to make a judgment on if there's something wrong ahead of time before it becomes something even more serious.
Exactly. And you can also share this with your vet.
Ah,
So, so your vet can see how your dog is doing remotely. You can consult with them. They can be even proactive about letting you know that something is not right. You can set alerts to notify you. So we really try to make it very simple and self-explanatory, where the data comes to you. You don't have to dig into all kinds of charts. We try to keep the information and the insight very usable and easy to use.
right. It makes perfect sense. Now, when it comes to dogs, there's obviously many different size dogs and cats for that matter. Is there different size collars or is it one size fits all?
We have three sizes, small, medium, and large. There's a chart, a size chart on the website, so you can use that to pick the right one for your dog. It's good for dogs and cats that are, I'm sorry, it's for dogs that are at least 8 pounds. So
Mm.
anything about 8 pounds, you can go ahead and use it.
So if you have a, teacup dog, this isn't for you.
Well, it is working on a teacup dog. We have used it, but we did find that it's a bit cumbersome. It's a bit kind of just the size of the collar for a 2 pound or
Compared to
three
the
pound
dog.
dog
Yeah,
just become a bit cumbersome. So for that reason, we don't recommend it. But 8 pounds and above, no problem.
no problem whatsoever. Now, if someone's already using a collar with a leash, for example, will they be adding this with it, or will they be, can you add a leash part to your collar, or what's the protocol?
That's a good question. We don't allow connecting a leash to our collar. The reason is if the dog starts pulling on the leash, the collars and the sensor is going to move out of place and out of position and won't be reading data very well. So you need to walk with a separate collar and leash when you walk your dog.
With regards to the veterinarian clinics and stuff like that, would you say that right now there's a lot of vets who are on board with the PetPace project and are encouraging your product?
We do have vets that are using it. We also have industry like pharmaceutical companies, universities. We have law enforcement entities like canine police, seeing eye dogs all over the world that are using it as well. We actually have three versions for our system. One is for the average pet parent. We have a veterinary version for
Hmm.
veterinarians, and we have a professional version for researchers
Ah, interesting. I
with
know
our
that
with
research is a big spot for any kind of disease, regardless of human or pet. Have you guys had any real breakthroughs with your data with regards to the research side?
Absolutely. So we've been running from day one, a lot of collaboration, a lot of studies together with universities, both in the US and in Europe, even, as far as Australia. Um, there are a lot of very interesting studies. Part of it is coming into fruition like in the pain program that I mentioned.
Hmm.
We're also coming out with an epilepsy program. So
Oh,
dogs
wow.
with epilepsy, our system will alert the owners when the dog is having a seizure. So, if you're not there, if you're at work and your dog is having a seizure,
Oh, my
the
God.
collar will alert you for it. So all of these things are conducted in collaboration with leading specialists and universities, and we have many, many more in the pipeline that's going to be released with time.
Well, speaking of release, I think we buried a lead that there is a new version that's coming out, or maybe out by the time you see this. Why don't we talk a little bit about the V3 collar and what it's going to do and how it's changing everything?
So in addition to all the really amazing tools that we already have in the existing collar, we are introducing a set of very exciting features, and the amount and the scope of it is such that we decided to, it's a new collar. It's a V3 version. It's a new version. The main things that are happening is that we are adding a cat version. We are adding support for Apple Watch. So if you want to see your dog's data from your Apple Watch, you can do that as well. We
Amazing.
are adding a telemedicine service, a telehealth service. So the data from that is collected by the caller, you can share it with your vet, or even you can even make a remote consultation, like with a chat or a video, 24/7 through the app, and the vet is seeing your dog's data as
Amazing.
they talk, as they make the consultation. So all these different things they're very exciting, and like you said, it's coming mid-June, and we're very, very excited about it.
Let's talk about that idea of the telehealth. So, how does that work? How will pet parents be able to experience that?
So, if today, if you come home and you find that your pet is not right, you pick up the phone to the vet and you try to explain by phone what's going on. We are taking it to the next level. Now, from the app, you can reach a veterinarian 24/7. It can be either your own veterinarian or someone else from a service that we provide. It's up to you to decide. And that veterinarian can go on a video chat with you immediately, see your dog's stats, see what's going on with your dog, not just now, but they can also look at, yesterday and last week and last month, or changes that are trending over time. So this consultation is becoming much more accurate, knowledgeable, and data-driven. So they can provide much better assessment and evaluation of your dog's condition as opposed to just a phone call. That's
Right.
the
So,
real next frontier of providing true healthcare for pets.
right. So that means that parents or pet parents can go ahead and share the data with the vet, let them know what's going on, and say, okay, my dog's having this symptom, and if I'm a nervous Nelly and I get worried about things, and I think that the dog's having a heart attack for argument's sake, and then the vet could say, okay, let me look at the statistics and the analytics coming from the caller and see that no, it's not that. You're just being overly cautious. And this way you can
Exactly.
calm me down as well as maybe make sure the dog's okay.
And save you and the dog a trip to the hospital for no reason in the example that you just gave.
Right, right. Which is really, going to the any vet is expensive. How much does it cost then for the telehealth feature with the V3 or the version 3?
That feature is included in the caller's price, so there's no added fee.
Oh wow. So you basically literally I can call as many times as I want and there's no extra fee then.
Correct.
That's amazing. When it comes to the actual AI and machine learning that these callers doing, I know you said there's millions of data points that are being collected. What kind of actionable health insight can pet parents and veterinarians expect to receive from this data? That's right.
Well,
What for?
there are many. I'm not sure that,
Yeah.
if within an hour we can cover everything, but let me
No, but what's the
mention
maybe
the
what's the
main ones.
top two or three that you hope that vets and pet parents can have at their fingertips?
So the first that comes to mind is the pain score that I mentioned. This was developed with a couple of US universities. We looked at hundreds of dogs with chronic pain from joint disease. We identified data patterns that are specific to this group as opposed to healthy group, and we use that to accurately detect pain in dogs. Another example, we call it the health profile. So over time, we use machine learning to learn your dog's specific values for pulse, for respiration, for all these different things. And we create a profile that is unique. It's individualized to your own pet. And now if there's any deviations from it, we can pick it up very early and notify you. So just for
Mm,
example, the average dog, if you open a veterinary textbook, pulse rate is between 60 to 120. So if your dog comes to if you measure the pulse for your dog and it's 90, the vet will tell you that's perfectly fine. But because we're monitoring this dog and we use machine learning, we know that for this specific dog, the pulse rate should be between 50 to 65. 90
mm,
represents a huge increase. Something is not right with your pet because it's an individualized normal range. It's an individualized reference range. So it's a very powerful tool to detect changes that indicate a change in the health status of the pet.
right. That makes sense. I mean, that's big. That's that's like getting ahead of the vet almost, before you actually go in to sort of know that there's something wrong because it's out of the normal range for your pet rather than looking at a dog or a cat as a standard version of that animal.
And the
Very
physiology
interesting.
doesn't lie. If your pet raises his temperature, if the heart rate changes, if the respiration rate changes, it's not, something's behind it. So it really helps the vet understand what's going on.
Now, we talked a little bit about the epilepsy thing. I know that it's still in development. Um, what can we expect when that feature becomes fully available? How, I know you said you gave the example if you're, let's say, at work and your dog's having a seizure, um, but is there other things that we hope to get with that epilepsy data?
So the main thing that as veterinarians, and we treat dogs with epilepsy, the main thing is to control. You cannot cure epilepsy, but you're trying to control the frequency and the severity of the seizure events. But the problem is that, as a veterinarian or as a pet parent, we don't really know how many events our dog has and how severe are they because we're not always there. So if it happens when I'm not there, I would never know about it.
Hmm.
So our system closes this gap. We let you know exactly how many and when and how severe were they. And you can use this data now to adjust treatment. Maybe you need to switch medication. Maybe you need to change dosages. You can really adjust what you're doing to achieve the optimal results. And that's a huge thing
Wow.
for parents with this dog, with this kind of problem.
Yeah, with that condition. Now, we didn't talk about pricing yet. How does the pricing work for the current one as well as the new one that's coming out? Is it a subscription based? Is it you buy it once and it's yours for life? How does it work?
So the V2 is selling for $350, which includes a 1 year subscription. The new V3 collars that are coming out now are going to be $699, including a 1 year subscription.
Got it.
And it includes the telehealth, like we said, and all these different features that we mentioned, including the epilepsy and everything.
Right. You get all the extra sensors and the telehealth for a little bit more money, but when you think about what the benefits are, it's significantly a better value for the money, it sounds like.
Yes, and we also, look out for the announcement because we're going to offer promotions and introductory prices.
Absolutely. And when we look at the PetPace collar and we look at other collars that are on the market, can you touch upon, what makes PetPace a little bit different?
PetBase is really different. It's really unique. There are many, many collars out there that measure activity with or without location. And that's fine. That's great. There's definitely use and place for that. PetBase is the only one that's taking a true health focus. We are the only ones that measure vital signs like temperature, pulse every 2 minutes, respiration, HRV. We're the only ones that can collect these things regardless of what the pet is doing, wherever they are, whatever they're doing. They could be in the house, they could be outside, they could be playing, wherever they are. You get real-time data, high resolution. So we are the only one that can produce that type of data. And therefore, we are the only ones that can produce analytics that are derived from that type of data. We are the only ones that can predict epilepsy, the time that your pregnant dog is going to go into labor. If the dog is painful, we are working on other things like diabetes and heart disease and cancer. Because we are the only ones that have this data, we are the only ones that can provide this type of analytics. And that sets us apart from everybody else.
Wow, that's amazing. Like it really sounds like you guys are the Rolls Royce of the pet collar for data analytics and for being able to know what's going on with your pet's health. While other ones will give you some basic information, I've seen step counts and stuff like that, and location, but really the data that you're collecting seems like more important and more vital.
Yeah, I mean, activity is nice, but if you rely only on activity to detect health problems, you're not going to get that far because activity is affected by many, many things that have nothing to do with your health. It has to do with your lifestyle, with your pet parents' lifestyle,
Hmm.
with the climate, with the area you're living in. If it's raining now, I'm not going to take my dog outside, so its activity is going to go down. Doesn't mean it's sick. No, it's just some other factor that has nothing to do with health.
So, as for a final thought, we know that this is a great product for pets, for pet owners to consider. Um, and the analytics is obviously a valuable piece to help ensure that your pet is healthy and preemptively getting ahead of any problem that could arise. What's the last message you want to give to pet parents?
I think pet parents don't have to be stressed about, what would happen if my dog becomes sick? How would I know? What happened if I already have a sick dog at home and need to take care of it, but I'm not there all the time? We have a tool that can help you. It can provide peace of mind. It connects your vet to your pet in a much better way, so we can track their health better. We can overcome this gap that we talked about in the first place, that pets don't tell us how they feel. We can help overcome it through real, accurate, objective, robust data. So technology can help.
Amazing. It sounds like a great product. It sounds like a great solution for any pet lover out there, regardless if you have your own pet or you know someone who does have a pet. I think PetPace is a great product to take a look at. Dr. Dagan, thank you again for your time. What's the website again, please?
www.petpace.com.
So www.petpace.com. And on social media, can people find more information also?
Yeah, we're everywhere. Facebook, Twitter, and all these different things. Yeah,
All under PetPace, right?
correct.
Perfect. Thank you again, doctor. And I appreciate all the insight about PetPace.